So, ladies and gentlemen, Jupiter is now transiting in debilitated Navamsha for some time, and he is going to be there till some more days. So, the Navamsha is a very incredible chart. It tells you what is going on inside, what's here, right? And the Lagna chart tells you what's there, what's here, what's there, what's here, what's there, what's here, and what's there. Now, both the charts are important. One shows what is going on externally, one shows what is going on internally. And most of the times, people in the astrology community, um, they kind of tend to make one chart the other chart's competitor, which means they say that, okay, if a planet is good in the D1 but bad in the D9, then the planet is useless, right? They say like this. And they say that if a planet is bad in D1 and if it is good in D9, then the badness is reduced in the D1. Well, actually, none of this is true, because both the charts have their unique importance, right? It means that things can be different externally and internally. So, for example, suppose you have a planet in the 10th house in your Lagna chart, in your D1 chart, and you are running the dasha of that planet, then you might have great success in career, right? But suppose you that same planet which is in the 10th house of your Lagna chart is in a bad dignity or in a bad house in the Navamsha, what will happen? Does it mean that you will not get that promotion? No, it doesn't mean that. It means you will get that promotion or that new job that you wish you want. But it means the job satisfaction may not be there. Or it means that you may feel that the things, it's not matching with your job profile, right? So that is exactly like the situation with Jupiter's transit into the debilitated Navamsha in Capricorn, right? So when Guru is in Aquarius externally, then it's like, coming out of the debilitation sign basically, right? From Capricorn. But now it is going into that same sign Capricorn in the Navamsha chart, in the Navamsha transit. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that the houses that Jupiter rules in your chart, depending on your ascendant. So if you are a Pisces Lagna, for example, then it's your Lagna Lord and your 10th Lord, right? And if you are Sagittarius, it's your first Lord, your Lagna Lord, and 4th Lord, right? So the houses that Jupiter rules in your chart, externally what happens is, externally Jupiter is in Aquarius. So you have this positive bent of mind by which you feel that you can actually go and make the difference that you wish to make. As Mahatma Gandhi said, right? Be the change that you wish to see. But now what is happening? He's externally in Aquarius, but in the Navamsha chart, he's transiting in the sign of Capricorn, which is the sign of debilitation, and it is also the 12th from Aquarius, right? So because of that, what happens is there could be a tendency within us that which could impel us to do certain things even if we don't want to. So this is like a perfect situation where we are doing something to prove to somebody rather than trying to improve ourselves, right? So the best way to be happy in life is not to prove others, is to improve oneself, right? Everybody wants to prove, but nobody wants to improve. Everybody wants to prove, nobody wants to improve. Well, you are proving, but when will that time come when you will start to make those changes which will eventually improve your life? So therefore we should guard from this tendency to impress others, and also do things and make commitments even though when we don't feel like doing that. And Jupiter especially rules the Akash Tattva, right, which tries to keep everything together. So in the Vedic scriptures, that is considered to be a very great quality, to keep everything and everybody together. We have the example of Yudhishthir Maharaj. We have Lord Sri Ramachandra's example. We have Lord Krishna's example. We have the example of Prithu Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam. We have the example of Lord Brahmaji. And so many other characters like Priyavrat Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, who always tried to keep people together, and they tried till the last moment to evade any conflict, right? And they only went into war when all the ways for peace were dismantled by the demons, right? The Rakshasas. So therefore Jupiter has this quality to keep everything together. Now, if Jupiter is your 10th lord, then you might have this tendency that, oh, I'll try to keep everybody happy in the workplace, or maybe I will try to keep my boss happy, or the boss of my boss, right? Happy. But now, because Jupiter is in the debilitation Navamsha, so because of that, you may do that. You may try to keep everybody happy at the cost of making yourself miserable. Now, what is that, and to what extent will you be doing that? That will depend on your horoscope, but it will also depend on, ultimately everything depends on your chart. But if you talk on a practical level, it depends on what is your awareness, right? Because the more your chart is indicating a need to impress others, the more you will try to keep everybody together. And actually what will happen is, you will feel that, oh, you are trying to be nice, you are trying to be this good person, who keeps everybody together. But actually what is happening is, what could happen if your fourth house is not nice, your moon is not good, your fourth lord is badly placed, then this indispensable sense of emptiness and a desire to seek validation from others, this actually will go to such an extent that you are ready to kill yourself to impress others, right? So it's like a situation where you say operation is successful but the patient is dead, right? So therefore, during this transit, we should always chant the Vishnu Avatara mantra for Jupiter, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Vamanaya. Because when we chant that, then what happens is, we get good direction in life. So we will know the balance, how much to do for ourselves and how much to do for others. And in the other hand, it can also go to this extreme where you totally pull back from the outer world and you go very much inward. You only think of yourself. This can also happen. This can also go to the other extreme, to such an extreme where you kick out everybody's opinions, you kick out everybody's wishes, desires, and wants, needs, interests, and concerns, basically. And you just only think of yourself, right? So this is also not good. That extreme will also go to eventually it will become a form of self-pity, basically. So therefore, you got to understand that there are things in this world which you have to do for yourself, and there are things which you have to do for others, and both of them has their, or they will always have their own unique importance. There will never be a time where you can compensate your inner emptiness by doing good things to others, for others, right? Or it's the other way around also, right? So you cannot always, or maybe you can never actually compensate externals and internals. But what can you do? What we can do is, we can try to harmonize both, right? So harmonize in the sense, as I say, first protect yourself, then you protect others, right? So, and the biggest lesson for this transit is to realize that the only person you need to impress, not impress actually, but even if you say the only person who you should impress is God, nobody else do you need to impress. Because everybody will leave you one day. You will also leave everybody one day, right? So there will be a time, there was a time when maybe your grandparents were there with you. It was the same with me, but now none of them are there anymore, right? I mean, my grandparents, their cousins are there, but their brothers, sisters, but they themselves are not there. There are many people who once had the association of their parents, but they are not there anymore. Many people, they had the husband, wife, they have passed away now, right? So as Lord Krishna says in the Gita, now, this world is a place of misery. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. This world is temporary. Materialistic pleasure is temporary. So it always will give you some sort of suffering, right? So therefore, you got to know how to make this balance. Because if you don't make yourself, if you are only miserable, if your own house is burning, you should first put that fire off, right? Rather than trying to put water in somebody else's house, which is also maybe in fire. So therefore, understand that you also have needs, interests, and concerns, and once you address them, then you should try to make peace with the fact that not everybody may agree with you. There will be somebody, some people who will always try to tell you that you are not doing enough. So what is happening is, it doesn't mean that you are not doing enough. It simply means that you are not, your actions are not visible, the results are not visible externally. So they will think internally also you are not doing, but internally maybe you are struggling very much, right? So therefore, do not let people ruin your inner mental peace, right? And understand that you need to take care of yourself, and then you take care of others. Okay, thank you.